Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melanie or She Shed Scrappers. Today I am back with a one-page layout using the Homegrown collection from Simple Stories. I started out, I was going to just use a 12 by 12 piece of white cardstock. I wasn't going to back it or border it with any of the pattern papers. That was what I set out to do because I have been bordering almost every single one of my layouts lately. And then I cut this strip for the top and realized it was not a 12 by 12 length. So I decided, you know what, I am going to border it so that that piece of scrap paper would work. And so I went into the rest of the collection and found a paper to back the layout. At first I thought I was going to use that kind of busier paper, and I decided against it. I decided to use the blue instead because I figured that strip of like the canning jars would have been too busy had it been right up against that kind of plaid paper. So that's why I chose to use just the blue instead. So now that that is cut and gutted, I am going to place that white cardstock back on the sheet and then use the canning jars for the top kind of border, I guess you could say. And then I had cut just a small strip of that off, and the backside happened to be this red plaid, and so I loved the way that that looked, and so I added that small strip to the bottom there. And then I wanted to use this kind of garden fruits and vegetable paper because I don't think I would use it really with anything else, and so I am going to add that to the bottom. You can kind of see how I'm gathering my photos to the left-hand side of the page. That is how they are going to sit. I decided to just have them kind of offset a little bit. I was actually going off of the layout that came with this collection. I picked up the collection and some of the pieces both at Tuesday morning in May was when I was in Florida, and the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo when I was in Florida. And it's kind of all farming, but then when I was doing the layout I uploaded, I think last week, I realized that there was a lot of gardening stickers and ephemera in this collection as well, and so that's kind of what inspired me to use these photos from the garden. I don't know why I am using this collection so much this month, but I am trying to kind of dig into my stash and use what I bought in that trip in May. So I have used the gamer collection and this, and I'm sure I feel like there was another collection that I used here recently, that I purchased while I was down there. So I wanted to use the Homegrown chipboard, and that I wasn't really sure what else to use, to kind of fill in that space on the right. But then there were all these fruits and vegetables that were chipboard as well, and I really liked how that looked, I guess. And so I decided to kind of scatter them kind of above my title there. I did find a basket of fruits and vegetables as well to kind of be the base or the main focus of a cluster on the left-hand side of the page. But really kind of had fun using up these fruits and vegetables in the chipboard. So when you see the close-up, at the end, the fruits and vegetables might be slightly in a different position because when I went to go move this layout, none of the chipboard pieces stuck. I had to go add my own tape, and I knew better. While I was doing this layout, I thought, man, I really should put my own tape because for whatever reason, the chipboard doesn't seem to really want to stick, especially if the collection's a little bit older. And so I'm curious, when a few years down the road, when I go to look back at, some of my previous layouts, if I didn't add extra tape, if they're just going to be all, the chipboard pieces all at the bottom. So that is a tip I have. If you're using the chipboard, definitely add some of your own tape as well. To the left-hand cluster there were just these little posts with the vegetable names that you would put in your garden so you knew what was where, and I thought those were really cute and wanted to use those up. So I did add those, and that's really going to finish off that cluster over there. And then I had some scrap pieces left over from the layout from last week, and from this layout as well. So I decided to add some flags at the top to fill in that white open space at the top there. And I am going to kind of offset them or have them kind of messy, I guess. So I did have to end up kind of ripping up what I had taped down just so that I could get those placed under there. I cut them a little bit too long, and so I was luckily able to kind of tuck them under the paper up there. But now that that's done, I wanted to kind of make a cluster up at the top as well. And I remember there was like this windmill that didn't have like the legs, and I thought that would be a great piece at the top. And so I just added that and then 3 phrase stickers that worked for the photos on the layout. This is actually my mother-in-law's garden, and the boys are picking out cucumbers because they will eat cucumbers like no other. She had them for a few weeks and was surprised at how quickly they ate all the cucumbers. She said that she would cut them all up and put them in a bowl on the counter, and every time they'd walk by, they'd just grab a handful and they were gone very quickly. So one thing that I did add are these journaling strips from Close to My Heart. These particular ones are going away at the end of this month, so I will link those down below as well for you. I just cut them to whatever length I wanted, which is always nice, and then it helps it stick out as well. So I will go ahead and journal down there, and then I just wanted to add some more of the vegetable stickers, so I added those around my journaling spot as well. But that's going to finish off this layout. I will link this collection as well as those journaling strips down below. And at the end, there is a special layout as a thank you. My son was making this layout while I was scrapbooking that layout, and he wanted to thank you and say that you guys are the best. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.